Hello everyone, I'm Rachel and you're listening to Let's Talk Avatar. This is a watch through of The Legend of Korra. Isaac and I will be discussing each episode and giving our opinions on it. Just as a reminder, this podcast does contain spoilers for The Legend of Korra. This is a teen-rated podcast, so listener discretion is advised. Hi everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk Avatar. I'm Rachel.
I'm Isaac.
And today we're going to be discussing episodes 9 and 10 of The Legend of Korra. Before we get started, as always, I just want to share something with you guys. We are going to be doing another giveaway because, you know, we love those giveaways. We've actually partnered with someone who creates Avatar water bottles. And this time we're going to be giving away 3 of them. We have 3 to give away, so there'll be 3 winners. More information will come on our Instagram, and we'll also talk about it later because this isn't an ongoing giveaway. This will start in the future, but just wanted to give you guys a heads up. That way you know. But besides that, I really don't have anything else I'd like to share. Isaac, do you have anything?
Nope.
Okay, so let's just hop right in. Episode 9 is titled Out of the Past. So when we left off, Korra was trapped by Tarlok in a titanium box, I think it is. So she's just trapped in there, hanging out, doing her thing, and her friends have been put in jail. So that's where we left off at. Trying to think where I want to start this. We're just going to go through a quick summary of it because there's things I want to talk about, but I really don't want to go through the whole episode.
Also, this is the first time we're recording with our new setup.
Yeah, it looks so professional, you guys. We have mic stands and like pop filters. It feels so fancy. We have some what is this, soundproof stuff, but we don't really know what to do with it, so I'm not sure if it's actually even doing anything.
Like,
but
we know you're
cool.
supposed to put it on the walls, but we just know that's not going to work. This room is too echoey, and we only have like 6 of them, so...
Yeah, it's $10 for 6 of them, and we're broke, so we're trying to give you guys all these giveaways, so we're spending our money on that rather than actual
quality.
Yeah, so let us know if you hear a difference or if you like it this way because we haven't really listened to it yet, so we don't know what it sounds like. We're hoping for good results, though. Okay, so this episode, Lin Beifong hears on the radio Amon. Is it Amon? I think he's like interrupted the radio again. Or no, there's like news that the Equalists have attacked City Hall because Tarlok made it look like he was attacked. So Lynn hears that and she's like, well, I'm going to get ready because I'm going to go save people. Then she gets the gang out of jail and they go and show up to Tenzin and they're like, hey, we're here to find Korra. And he's like, okay. So then they go on the hunt. They infiltrate like the Equalist hideout, right? That's what it is. And they end up finding her police officers that have already been stripped of their bending, and they don't find Korra. So they're like, what the heck? And this is where Mako kind of starts to go crazy. I mean, he's starting to get there, but this is where you really see him kind of go psycho. And they find out that the Equalists actually never attacked City Hall and that it was all made up by Tarlok. So they go to address him. They find out he's a bloodbender. He bloodbends them. Asami's on the floor looking like she's just planking. It's really weird. Go watch it. Trust me, you won't regret it. And then once they come to, what happens when they come to, actually? I think that's when, while this is all going on, Korra's having flashbacks that of Aang's life with Yakone, this like mobster from early, I guess, back in Aang's day.
Yeah, and Aang's like, you need to see this now more than ever. Boom.
Mm-hmm. And Korra's like the first time she's really been in touch with Aang, or her spiritual side, I guess you can say. And I love this moment because you get to see Sokka and we never really find out what went on with Sokka. So I love this just purely for getting to see him. Then there's Toph, of course, and they're all the same kind of characters, you know? And you see that this Yakone guy is being accused of bloodbending and they're trying to fight that, but then they find him guilty. He ends up bloodbending them and Aang has to go into the Avatar state to defeat him. But you find out that through this, is this where they discover that Yakone is related to Tarlok?
I don't know. I thought
What was the purpose of this?
That was episode...
This is episode 9. Tarlok we find out is a bloodbender, episode 8. There's a reason they're showing him, though. And I can't, for the life of me, remember what it is exactly.
Because he's Amon's brother?
But we don't know that yet. I mean, if you guys are watching this, you already know Amon and Tarlok are brothers and Yakon's their dad. But we don't know that. We don't know that at this point. I don't know. Anyway, I think it is. I think because Korra's like... I mean, she's in this box, right? She finds out about Yakon and how he's a bloodbender and he has the power to bloodbend even when there's no like full moon. And then when she comes out of that state, she hears the Equalist and Amon are taking Tarlok as prisoner, and you hear Amon say, "Go electrocute the box." So what she does is she takes her bracelet thing, wraps it around, and then lifts herself up in the box. They electrocute it, and she pretends she's being electrocuted. Then when they open the box, she fire bends at them and escapes. So this is a moment where you see Korra and Amon. They see each other, and then Korra water bends after she escapes, water bends at him, and then runs, and he chases after her. And there's a moment where he jumps out of the fog, and it's really creepy. Anyway, she ends up getting away, finding Naga, and then she finds her friends. But at that point, she's so out of it. She hasn't eaten, she hasn't been taken care of, so she's in recovery at this point, and that's when the episode ends. And this episode I like because things start to unfold, and we start to understand a little bit more about what's going on and why. But you're also there waiting okay, the suspense is building up. You want to know what's going to happen next. So I don't really have anything specific to say about this episode. I liked it, and it's entertaining, but there's nothing really... I just love seeing Sokka. That's my favorite part of it.
I have something to say.
Okay.
I've been wanting to talk about it for a while. I just didn't know how to address it. Mm-hmm. So, Legend of Korra is obviously same universe as Avatar, whatever. I feel like Avatar The Last Airbender knows its place more. I find that in Legend of Korra, there's a lot of really super awkward moments of character dialogue, animation. It's just, there's a lot of, even season 1 feels complete. Mm-hmm. But looking at it now, there's a lot of moments where it's just very out of place. Or why did they say that? Or they use the same tone of voice a lot of times. So the same characters will have the same aggression towards something. Yeah,
we were talking about this. Korra is the only real character I feel that has a separate tone from other people, and even then she's still the dialogue's kind of the same for everyone, everyone says the same kind of phrases, and not necessarily the same kind of phrases, but has the same kind of tone to them. And
which sounds so nitpicky. I didn't notice until recently, my fourth watch through, but it's just something that it's kind of almost ruined it for me, because I'm ugh.
And I feel you and I have gone in with a more analytical look at it, because we are doing this podcast and we've seen it so many times at this point that we're okay, what are things that we haven't noticed yet? And that's one of the things that we haven't noticed that, it's something to get past. It's not a huge thing, but you do notice it. But when you notice it, it kind of ruins it for you, because you keep watching and you're oh no, it's another one of those moments. There was that time, Mako always does it. His character always says those, what phrase was it that we noticed it on specifically?
He's relax.
And then there's a part where Korra, right? She's relax. The same kind of attitude. And
same tone, everything. They all say it.
Yeah, relax. They say it a lot.
In one episode, it's just the span of 10 minutes.
Yeah. I definitely have noticed some things that I didn't notice before.
That sounds so nitpicky of us, but to me, when I watch it and that's happening, it throws me off so much. I don't know why.
Yeah, I guess that's the one thing about watching a show so many times, is you do start to become a little nitpicky, because you're starting to notice things you didn't before.
Yeah, true.
We still love the show. It's still a great show, but we'd be lying if we said we didn't notice those little details, And that's all I really have. That I didn't even have to say anything. That was you saying it. I'm responding.
On to episode 10?
Yes. Episode 10 is titled Turning the Tides. And this one is pretty much Korra is recovering, and I think she's at the air temple, right? And at this point, Amon is pretty much planned to take over, hasn't he? Or he has started to take over.
Yeah, they start to notice a lot of different things. He has already like kind of taken over, but they're starting to watch it happen even more. They have to go into hiding.
Yeah, this is when the council members have been all attacked and taken hostage, except for Tenzin. So he's the only one that really has any say. And he's also, him and his kids are the only airbenders. And the Equalists at this point obviously want to take bending away. So Tenzin's like, well, we got to go into hiding. Also, this is the episode where Pema has their kid in the middle of all of this. She's just at home, gives birth, and it's like, oh, okay, Rohan, that's what they name him. And
put in the comments down below who's better, Baby Hope or Baby Rohan.
Yeah, Baby Hope or Baby Rohan. Let us know below if you're on YouTube. Or let us know on Instagram if you're listening on anything else. This is also me and Isaac, maybe another nitpicky thing. So Pema gives birth, right? Then right after gets on a sky bison. Is that what they're called? Sky bison?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That sounded weird to me for some reason. Gets on a sky bison right after she gives birth with a brand new baby to run away. And I'm like,
she's
dang,
strong.
she doing it. When I gave birth, I mean, granted I had a C-section, but I'm just chilling. I ain't trying to move. She's already like hopping on sky bisons, running from these evil people. But Tenzin has to leave to go with Korra, I think, or something like that. And he leaves Lin in charge of his family. And at this point, the Equalists have infiltrated the Air Temple Island, and Lin is fighting them, but she can't handle it on her own. So who shows up? Tenzin's children. Jinora comes in and she's like, leave my dad's ex-girlfriend alone. I thought it was funny, but it's also cringy.
And then Milo fart bends.
And Iki does like the air ball, and yeah, they save the day. They end up actually saving Lin's life. Don't you think? Like, she even says it herself. She's like, yeah, I wouldn't be here unless your kids defended me. And by that point, Tenzin's come back. Oh, I think that's when Pema gave birth.
Yeah, it is.
This whole time while the kids were fighting, their mom's giving birth. So no one even realizes. And then that's when they see the kid. And there's that moment of, I don't know, calmness when the child's born and you're celebrating it, but then there's still like impending doom all around you. And then they take off with Lin. This is where Pema gives birth and gets on the sky bison. Lin goes with them to defend them because she doesn't want the airbenders to be...
To defeat the Hun.
Yeah, exactly. And in the end, she ends up getting captured and her bending's taken away. And this is by far...
Cried.
One of the saddest moments in the entire first season. Because Lin is that character that you really don't care for at first. You're interested in, you don't care for her. And then you really realize that she is an actual kind, sincere person. You know? Like, she's rough exterior, but soft on the inside.
She's a tough cookie.
She's a tough cookie.
And her cookie hurts.
Definitely. She ain't got that cookie taken care of for a while. That cookie ain't been baked for a long time.
Definitely wouldn't consider her having a WAP.
Let us know what you think.
Let us know.
Does Lin have a WAP or a DAP?
A DAP.
DAP. After this, Korra goes into hiding with her friends, and this is where we see General Iroh, which is Zuko's grandson, who is also voiced by Dante Bosco, which I love, but you're also like, okay, so that Zuko's voice here. I would notice anywhere.
You're just like, Zuko's here to save the day.
Yes, and then that's where it ends. So your hope is up because you're like, well, I mean, it's gone because Lin got her bending taken away, but then you're also like, Iroh's here to save the day. Good things are going to happen. And the next two episodes are definitely... Actually, I would say the last episode is the most action-packed episode I think, in a lot of cartoon history, I guess you could say, if that makes sense. A lot is packed into that last episode, which we'll be talking about next week. Yeah, I really don't have a lot to say about these episodes for some reason. There's nothing that I felt the need to really discuss in detail. You know?
Yeah, and at this point, it's moving so fast, so abruptly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what do you talk about?
Yeah, there's so much happening and so much to touch on, but it's not big enough stuff to really stop and analyze, I guess you could say.
It's just Amon taking over, and it sucks because you knew it was going to happen. And
which I think Korra, the first season, does a really good job in making you scared. I've said this before. Amon is such a great character when it comes to that because you truly feel, there are moments, multiple moments where you feel scared. Like, how are they going to defeat him? I definitely felt that in the next 2 episodes.
Well, and you don't figure out anything until, like, what, episode 11?
The last episode. Right? Maybe it's the next episode.
See, I thought it was way earlier.
No, it is episode 11.
I thought it was episode 10, the one we just talked about.
Yeah. No, the last 2 are so jam-packed. I really don't have anything else to say, do you? That you want to talk about with these episodes? Or I guess Korra in general, since we're getting to the end of season 1?
I think episode 10 was the one when obviously Iroh shows up with his fleet of ships. Mm-hmm. And Korra goes to save him because...
No, that's episode 11.
Oh, okay. I'm getting too ahead.
I thought it was 2, and then I was reading the synopsis, and I was like, what? That didn't happen in that episode? I'm telling you, the last few episodes just blend together because so much happens. And so much happens in the last episode where I'm just like, this isn't multiple episodes, it's only 1.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think that's all I have to say.
Same. Sorry, guys. We weren't very entertaining, or we didn't really have a lot to say with these episodes. But tune in next week because we definitely will have a lot to say about the next ones. I definitely will because I just said definitely too many times. I will because I cry every time I see the very last scene of season 1. So, not the very last, one of the last scenes. So I will definitely voice my opinion on that.
Same.
As always, thank you guys so much for listening. Definitely let us know what you think about our new setup, if it sounds better, if there's something we can improve on, or send us a message if you ever just want to say hi. We're on Instagram.
We haven't done this in a while. Who's your favorite character at the end of episode 10?
Ooh, that's hard. Definitely Pema. Just kidding.
Definitely Baby Rohan. I gotta give him that.
Gotta give him props for being born. I really, at this point, I don't know. I just feel for Asami right now. I feel for her more than I ever have in the previous times I've watched her. Her dad wants to kill her. Her boyfriend is cheating on her with the Avatar. And and then her mom's already dead. Like, she's just chilling there with Bolin. Like, are you my only friend?
Kind of got herself into it.
But how? How? Because she started dating Mako? How'd she get herself into it? She just came into this not
triangle.
Knowing. Well, yeah, but I mean,
the signs were there.
How was she supposed to know when she asked Mako on a date? Korra wasn't there. That
okay, but even like previous episodes, it was still happening between Mako and Korra. So
yeah, but I mean, she probably didn't notice. She also wasn't there in a lot of the moments we see. You know, it's like she saw them kiss or like sees the interactions between them.
That's another thing I feel like Korra doesn't really do good with, at least in season 1, is non-benders. I'm not speaking for the rest of the seasons because they actually do pretty good in my opinion. But like Asami, she's just kind of their driver, their designated driver, their DD.
I mean, she has some good moments, but they leave her behind a lot, which I guess she's not a damsel in distress, that's for sure. Yeah. But they're just kind of like, all right, see you later, Asami, we gotta go. Like
obviously she can fend for herself and like, you know, do the job just as good as they can, but for some reason they don't showcase it as much.
Yeah. Well, I think with this season, because it is like the bad guys are non-benders, supposedly, in a way. You know, they're these equalists that don't want any bending. I feel like they really didn't showcase as much. Actually, I feel like they don't showcase it from this point on at all. I really don't remember Asami being, I mean, it's been a while since we've watched it.
I mean, there's a couple moments in 3 and 4 that I remember.
Yeah, I don't. I haven't seen them in a while, though.
My favorite character is Lin. She continues to give her all for them, even if it means that her
bending is taken away.
Her literal life's work is taken away, so.
Yeah, she's definitely the hero, and she does everything she can.
And when she rips those airships, that was like a boss scene.
Yeah. Any moment with her fighting is actually, it's so intense and it's so good. And the fact that she went to find her police officers and gave up her role as chief to do it the way she wanted to goes to show you how dedicated she is to her team. And that's what I really like about her, because she's a very respectable person, but she's also a bitch sometimes. So she's just gonna be like that. But
I'm not gonna give her a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna bring her down to about a 7.5 because I mean, we know she doesn't have a WAP again, but...
That's a big deciding factor for Isaac on these characters. Rate Korra, Asami, Pema.
No,
I'm just kidding.
No, we're not doing this.
I'm just kidding. Let's end this before we get a little more carried away. I'm Rachel.
I'm Isaac.
And thank you guys so much for listening. As always, tune in to next week's episode where we finish season 1. We love you. We cannot wait to talk to you guys again soon, and stay tuned for our giveaway. Not stay tuned, but look out for our next giveaway on our Instagram. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. You can find us on our website at nonessentialmedia.com, on Twitter at Let's Avatar, and on Instagram at Let's Talk Avatar. Join us next week for another episode. And as always, thank you so much for all your support.